Morning, YouTube. It's Ratmaster. Back in the heat. Back in the heat. Nice 104. That's therapeutic. Today we're going to be talking about consistency. The discipline kind of goes hand in hand with consistency. So just bear that in mind. It's going to be hard to maintain consistency if you have poor discipline. So consistency. So following through and making sure that you're doing things over and over and over and over and over again. Not faltering, not finding excuses on continuing on your path. So for example, for me, this YouTube thing, I'm maintaining my consistency by 3 days a week. I'm doing it. I'm in the heat. I'm making sure that I'm stretching, and then I'm making sure I'm hitting my cold plunge. And I really do my best to work around everything in life to make sure that I'm able to continue to do these things. So you got to be able to figure out what's going on in your life to be able to be consistent in the things that you want to do. So if you, for example, you're trying to follow what I'm doing, and you want to get in the heat and you want to do the cold plunge and you're wondering how to be consistent in these things and finding it very difficult, well, you really got to be able to plan ahead and make sure that you're doing things so you can maintain the lifestyle you're trying to live, or at least trying to maintain doing this. So for me, I have to make sure that the night before I have my shorts are set up. I have all my electronic stuff is set up, which is basically just a microphone and a couple cords and my stand. I make sure that the cold plunge is taken care of. The cold plunge is, not frozen over, so I made sure I got the stock tank heater. Trying to eliminate things that are going to prevent you from being consistent, from doing the things that you're trying to do to maintain, or trying to maintain the consistency with. And aside from just trying to do something like this, why consistency really matters in other aspects of your life. Being consistent is like a necessary for going to work. If you're going to work every single day, like, you got to do that. So like, look at it from that standpoint. You don't not go to work every day, right? You find out how to get things taken care of so you can go to work every day. You're not making excuses every single day you go to work why you can't go to work, or else you wouldn't have a job. You wouldn't be doing that. It's along right there with discipline. Discipline helps you maintain the course of being consistent and just not quitting. That's half of it, man. Being consistent also means just not quitting, not giving up, following through. You may tell yourself, I am consistent. I do things all the time. It's like, but have you really ever pushed yourself to be consistent in anything that was difficult? Like, for example, the cold plunge. If I want to talk, I'm going to talk about personal consistency some more. Along with just doing a YouTube channel, I've got a lot of discipline. So like being consistent in things that I decide to be consistent in, I've been able to really hammer down, and I do it. I don't, you know what I mean? And it strengthens you. It really does. But for real consistency, doing that cold plunge, I'm doing it 3 times a week. I may not be hitting my 11-minute goal, but I'm also not hitting the 3-minute mark in 30-degree water. So that's okay. So also setting good expectations for yourself. Like, you can't set so high expectations or you'll never be able to be consistent. You got to be realistic. So keep that in mind as well. But being in the cold plunge is most certainly is like literally the hardest thing I think I've done, like physically, in a very long time, aside from being airborne. But yeah, just jumping in the cold, man, I don't know. It's like, I can't tell you how many millions of excuses I've told myself to not get in the cold plunge, and like why I don't need to do it. And to me, that's just unacceptable, especially when I know it's gonna give me just like this huge stack of benefits. You may have some discipline to do this, even do the cold plunge, but you got to have the consistency to have the follow through to do it day after day after day for 3 days a week, like I am, to reap the benefits of it. If you're gonna, you can't just do it once or twice here and there, and you have to have follow through, consistency. You got to be able to mentally tell yourself, no matter what, this is what I'm gonna do, and do it. And it gets easier from there. And this is something that everybody's always preaching too: is consistency, consistency, consistency. There's a reason why people are talking about it. There's a reason people say why it's so important to be consistent in things in your life. And if you pick a thing like a cold plunge to build that consistency, that strength, you'll see how you're able to utilize it in other factors of your life, in other areas of your life. Because there's something about strengthening your mind and getting solid fortitude from just getting hammered and coming back for more, and getting hammered and coming back for more, and just getting beaten up, coming back for more. It builds real resilience as well. It's really strengthens you. I think one of the hard bumps in the road for being consistent is literally feeling like you're burnt out. You definitely have to figure out where your limit is. That's obviously a video I've been over before. Limits. I'm not going to over explain this. Everybody knows like what it means to be consistent. I can just talk a little bit about like I did. So if you're having problems in your life and you're not getting stuff down, you're not accomplishing anything, and you got a decent amount of discipline, then you're probably having consistency issues. And you got to just dig deep and stop being lazy and get after it and do it. Because a lot of the times, that's what it is for me. I just tell myself, I know I'm having consistency issues. Like it's a real thing. It's like I have the most discipline out of anybody I know, and I tell you what, consistency bothers me every single day. So this is not something I'm just being preachy about, like, and being annoying about. Like, this is real. Be consistent. Show up and do the things in your life that you want to do. You gotta tell yourself to stop being a crybaby and put that shit back and get it going. You're gonna tell yourself, I don't wanna all the time. You have to learn to murder, stab that voice. Bury it in the back. And kill that voice. Because it ain't helping. Alright guys, that's my little spiel on consistency. So get consistent. Make sure you get out there and stretch. Get that done. We're going into the cold. Alright, let's do it. 32 degrees. It's freezing. For 2 minutes. Let's try it. Timer didn't start, so it's gonna be a mental battle, this one. I believe you guys can make a better you. I believe you guys can do it. Better you. Better future. You guys can do it, man. You guys can do this too. This is so hard right now. All right, that's all I can do, dude. I'm dying. All right, guys. It's Ratmaster here. Get motivated. You guys can do it. You guys can get in the pool. Ratmaster out.